So, you want to learn more about Ray? Then this video is for you. Today we will have a full review of Sword of Werebeasts Ray. We will talk about her profile, abilities, exclusive weapon, suggested builds, and I will give you my thoughts on every topic. Let's go to her profile. Ray is a leader of a beast organization. The organization whose purpose is to protect the rights and interests of beast people. This is her hero information. Now let's go straight to her abilities. Ray has a party buff of critical hit chance plus 40%. She also has skill damage plus 10% and a plus 5% shield increase on battle start. Skill damage is a very good stats in leading a DPS party, especially in guild raid. Her normal attack is called Werebeasts Swordsmanship. It is separated to a normal attack and a character skill. Slicing blow. Inflict damage to enemies with her swordsmanship. Decrease melee defense of damaged enemies by 20% for 3 seconds. Its debuff is very good in a melee DPS team. Her normal attack has 3 phases. First is 1 tap to do a dash pierce attack. Second is charge the attack until 100% to do the dash forward slash. Third is charge the attack until 150% or above to do the spin forward slash. Retaliation. Takes a counter stance for 1 second. If Ray is damaged during retaliation, negate the damage once and deal 50% of DPS damage to the attacker. This skill is very good in arena, however it is hard to use. You need a good practice to get used to it. Her chain skill is called Blazing Spin Slash. It is injured to downed. Throws a hurricane of flame to deal 350% of DPS damage to enemies in its path. Her special ability is called One with a Blade. On retaliation success, increase attack and defense by 30% for 10 seconds. 30% attack and defense are very big advantage in the arena, plus it has very long duration of 10 seconds. Now let's see her exclusive weapon. Her exclusive weapon is called Heavenly Perfection, and it's an epic one-handed sword. Her exclusive weapon is pretty close to other one-handed exclusive weapon in terms of stats, but what makes it unique is its special ability. When using retaliation, recover 10% of her own HP and increase retaliation's damage to 140% of DPS. It will further increase the damage of her retaliation skill, plus she can heal herself for 10%. Her weapon skill is called Deceptive Slice. It is level 5. It has an attack of 225% DPS and a regen time of only 6.5 seconds. Quickly spins her sword to hack and slash enemies, puts them in an injured state. Her skill have a dash forward, so it is not hard to hit enemies with this skill. Collecting this weapon will grant you a permanent attack stats plus 1%. Now let's go to our recommendation checklist. In this checklist, we will have 3 indicators. Green check for good, orange check for average, and red X for bad. Let's start with story mode. Ray can buff and heal herself using retaliation. She can also counter and block some skill during the fight. She will be good in hard stages and boss fights. So it's a green check for story mode. I think Ray is a very good unit in guild raid because of her normal attack debuff. It has no internal cooldown, so this debuff have a 100% uptime during the battle. You can team her up with other melee characters to deal very high DPS. It is definitely a green check for guild raid. I think she will be bad in Colosseum because of the current meta. Almost all players are using tanks and range character only. So, it's a red X for Colosseum. I think she is a very good character in arena. She can block and damage the enemy using her retaliation skill. Buffs her attack and defense during the process because of her special ability. She can damage the enemy by 140% of DPS and recover 10% of her own HP using her exclusive weapon. She can also debuff her enemy with her normal attack. This character is strong but very difficult to use. You need many practice to get used to her playing style. It's a green check for arena. Now let's go to item build. Let's start with adventure build. For weapon, use her exclusive weapon, Heavenly Perfection. If you don't have it, then just use her default weapon. For accessories, if you are a new player, I recommend getting the Necklace of Blessing from the Amazon equipment shop for only 22,000 gold. It will give you high defense for beginner. You can upgrade to high toughness accessories for higher level enemies. I will not recommend Ruby Mirror Ring for new players because it consumes a lot of option stones to get good stats. For cards, if you are a new player, I recommend getting these 2 cards in Amazon equipment shop for only 60,000 gold each. It is 1 attack card and 1 defense card. You can use 2 defense cards for difficult stages. For merch, use Sealed Goddess Snow Globe for additional toughness and fire element damage. The next build is for guild raid. For weapon, use her exclusive weapon, Heavenly Perfection, for optimal fire damage DPS. For accessories, use Sharpshooter for high DPS stats. You can upgrade to sniper goggles and Minotaur's necklace for the endgame build. For cards, for the leader position, use 2 skill damage cards for high burst damage. For the member position, use 2 attack cards for the highest DPS output. For merch, use Sealed Goddess No Globe when fighting Earth Element bosses. Switch to Mariel Cushion when fighting other element bosses. You can upgrade to Statue of Bravery and Invader Mothership for the endgame build. But make sure to use them correctly. Last is the arena build. For weapon, use her exclusive weapon, Heavenly Perfection, to deal more damage and heal herself when using retaliation skill. For accessories, use Ring of Fortress for high toughness low budget build. You can upgrade to these accessories for later builds. For cards, use 2 defense cards for additional toughness. You can also use 1 injury negate card if you already have good toughness from accessories. For merch, you can use Statue of Bravery when placing her in the first slot. Use Invader Mothership when placing her in the second slot. Use Smiley Face Cushion when placing her in the third slot. Now it's time to see her in action.
미안해요, 주님. 모두
That's it for now, don't forget to subscribe and see you on the next video.